I love comfort food, but it's got to be easy, and Salisbury steak is definitely one of my favorites. We're going to be whipping this up here on Cooking with Styles. Salisbury steaks comes from a doctor during the Civil War who came up with this recipe, and he served it to his men. Here's basically how it goes. We're going to take about a 1/4 cup of red onions, diced, and then we're going to take a pound of extra lean ground beef. We're going to mix that in there like so. A 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. Use the panko, I like those the best. 1 egg, a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and 3 shots of Worcestershire. So you can see what's happening here. The eggs and the breadcrumbs and the onions all bind it together, so you can make big Salisbury steaks or you can make regular sized Salisbury steaks. We're going to use a little virgin olive oil in our skillet over here. It's going to be on a medium-high heat because I want to get a nice sear. That's what you want to hear, that sizzle, for about 4 to 5 minutes per side, max. So while those are cooking, let's get our sauce ready here. We're going to use a little bit more of the onions, but this time we're going to make it a really fine dice because this is going to go in a sauce, so we want to make sure that the onion doesn't overpower our sauce. Set those off to the side. And now for the mushrooms. I'm using cremini. You can use the regular white mushrooms. Slice them not super thin, but relatively thin. And then these will be sauteed in the drippings from that Salisbury steak. Olive oil, we'll add a little butter to that. So we've had these going for about 8-9 minutes total, but we want to keep that pan hot because now it's time to make the sauce. We're going to throw a couple cubes of butter in there, about 2-3 tablespoons. Our red onions. We're just kind of wilting or sweating those onions just a little bit. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of flour in there and let that flour cook for just a couple minutes. We're trying to get that oil around the butter to envelop the little bit of flour that's in there. Okay, so while that cooks, we'll get some other things ready. I've got my parsley right here. I'm going to go ahead and dice this up. It's going to go in the sauce. And then we'll go ahead and throw our mushrooms in there. So this has been cooking for about 2 minutes, and we're going to add a cup of beef bouillon in here. And this will be our sauce. All right, we're ready to plate this up and finish the sauce. A little bit of parsley in there. We put that at the very end because we want the aromatics of the parsley to come out. And we're just going to put this right over the top of our Salisbury steak. You can just imagine the soldiers on the field getting this as a meal. So there is my version of Salisbury steak. Serve this with mashed potatoes. You'll be the hero of the dinner table. If you'd like this recipe and more, go to our website, cbs8.com/recipes, and you'll get Salisbury steak plus a whole lot more. Dig in.